to make Burning Megatron.
But how are we going to do that? Megatron is a little small.
I know. So it's like you guys got to pick. You got to do one. Which one? And ultimately, we have to deliver it all. So
Let's take a look at that very quick. So clearly we can see that we delivered this, right?
So here in that combined vehicle mode, you have great use of our port system. So you have your 5mm ports for the upper cannons that articulate up. You have these smaller 3mm port blasters that are able to rotate around the deck, delivering that aircraft carrier, as well as the two other aquatic-themed vehicles. This thing,
It's great. I mean, so that's two modes
two modes.
we delivered on.
All right, so
Right?
now
So, like, I mean, it just looks great.
Oh.
A lot of fun.
breaking fantasy here. We have this combined war rig mode. Again, you're able to sort of take influence from some of the cities that we've been able to do in the past, but really be able to give this giant armory of a base to a character like Tidal Wave, which was amazing.
So with the Singapore Comic-Con behind us, as well as the Cybertron Fest 2023, we have a brand new perspective of what's going on with our Titan class, pretty much, our Transformers Legacy United Titan class Tidal Wave, as well as our Voyager class Origin, Wheeljack, and everything that's happening with that one. So we're going to cover it all. We're going to make sense of it, how this combines, all the little information we have, some new dates that we have to look forward to in the month of December to put down on our calendar, and do what we do here on the Transformers Slag podcast like we always do. So let's jump in first with this Tidal Wave. Now, we kind of covered a lot of this during the live stream on Saturday, but I'm going to kind of reiterate some of it with better visuals and give you guys an idea. So what do we know about our Transformers Legacy United Titan class Tidal Wave? Well, we do know that it's going to be slightly smaller than our Nemesis Titan class that we got already, the Decepticon ship for Legacy Evolution. An individual in Singapore, one of the fans, brought his Micron Detsetsu Micron Legend Armada version of Tidal Wave and kind of tried his best to show how that scales to it, the old to the new. Shout out to Evolve to Simp, who was the one who did that. Took some really nice photos. So it gives us a little bit of an idea. It's absolutely massive in comparison, rightfully so, but it does give us an idea for people that are owners of the original Tidal Wave, and if you want to get an idea of how it works. We do know through videos that we've seen online, as well as little, photos and stuff that we've had of scant information, that it does make the Dark Fleet, which is the 3 individual vehicles, as well as combines to make the larger vehicle of Tidal Wave. So that's pretty cool. We have a confirmed third mode, which is a base called the War Rig mode, according to Sam Smith, from the videos that we saw already online from Hasbro Pulse that were kicking around. But the big question is, how does he combine with our Megatron? Because when you have the old one, it's like, hey, here's something that's kind of a leader class, and then the old Armada Megatron was also kind of a leader class. Now we have a new one here where we have a Titan and a leader. How does that work? Well, there's a lot of compartments, there's a lot of elements going on here, and we're going to break it down. So first off, in the back of the Titan class Tidal Wave, there's a hidden compartment that has a mini version of one of his segmentations of his Dark Fleet. And that attaches to Megatron's arm and has articulation on there to really convey one part of that combine mode. For his left arm, the combiner piece, it uses segments of his arms of his larger robot that break down and then attach to the left arm of the Armada Megatron leader class from Legacy Evolution. And then the shins of the Titan class Tidal Wave disconnect off and make these like stilt components that make the Megatron taller. So you already have those elements going on there that attach to him to make him larger. And what's good about it, when you really think about it, it does not hinder too much your actual larger Tidal Wave figure. So it looks like you're going to be able to have your big Titan class Tidal Wave on display, and only some pieces missing off of it, but more or less will still also have the Megatron on display combined too. So that's a nice 2-in-1, as I like to call it in a lot of ways. So that's really awesome. Looks really good. very excited about it. We got a very bloomed out image of how the box looks. It obviously came from a video, and it's hard to make out who's on the box. And the reason why that's such a big deal is because historically in the past, our Titan classes have always had characters featured on the box that give us an indication of what we might get in the future as product. And there is a lot of guys on there, but they're hard to make out. So when we get a better HD look of this video, or maybe just some in-box actual images in HD, we'll find out who those characters are, and then we could start speculating who's going to be on the next list of brand new Transformer product. But very exciting otherwise, really cool, very excited about this Tidal Wave figure. If you're a Unicron Trilogy fan growing up, this is fantastic news for you. The question is now, like always, is when is the shipping date? Are they going to raise the MSRP on the pricing for him? Is he going to be more expensive going into 2024? And what are the repaints going to be in the future? And, you know, there's 3 pretty much decos that this character has historically right out of the go. Are you going to get the more traditional toy colors that also kind of will match the video game due to him being such a large scale? Or are you going to go for something that is more like the Energon Superlink colors with the clear green translucent plastic? There's some great digibashes already online that kind of convey what it potentially might look like. So very excited about it. Can't wait to see more of him, and a video, which we'll get into in a moment at the end of this segment today. How does let's talk about our little Voyager class Origin Wheeljack and how that one works, because now we know more about it today too. So we have better images and everything, and first thing that we could make a note is when we look at that vehicle mode, there's a lot of stuff going on. Number one, it has the 5mm pegs that you could attach these fan blade kind of accessories on it to reenact episode 1 of Generation 1, More Meets the Eye Part 1, where he goes through the flames with these little fan blades to knock over the seeker jets. Those little 5mm fan blades could also be attached all over the robot mode on 5mm peg holes on Wheeljack. Because he's a Voyager class, he's also going to be able to have a little bit of a storage unit on him. The first storage of it being the Energon conductor ray. I think they were called energy conductor rods, but they're Energon rods pretty much. You could probably store them inside, but they clearly intend for you to take those conductor rods that you got with your Origin Bumblebee, and you could plug them on the side of his spoiler, and looks pretty good. Looks pretty good that it could be put up there. Probably could also be put on the inside, but the inside is stored for a different reason, because it looks like him being a Voyager class, you could actually fit in your Origin Bumblebee into the back, reenacting again how it looked in the original episode. Now, obviously, even in the original episode, you look how Bumblebee really tucks himself in there almost impossibly, and it looks like to be able to do that here, you just need to fold up his wings on the side of the Origin Bumblebee in a certain way, and then he'll just fit in there perfectly, and you could store him inside. And the last thing also, because it's a Voyager class, you get a little bit of extra budget for some extra accessories on top of it, not just the fan blades, but also the flame shield or the deflector shield. So he had that also that appeared in the episode. He used it to protect himself from the Decepticon Seekers, and you have an extra one that plugs on top here too as an extra bonus. Pretty cool stuff. Now, when it comes to the Wheeljack, it's one of these things where we do kind of have a release date. We don't have a price yet, but we do have some updates on information. Number one, in the case of the Wheeljack, there was the fears that this was going to be an exclusive to Singapore Comic-Con. That is not the case. This will be a mainstream item that will be available to everybody. Through Target. It will be a Target exclusive. We had a listing many months ago that proved that it's going to be a Target exclusive. The date that was on there, though, was for April 12th of 2024. That could change because when we got this listing, it was many months ago, so dates could change for that. But we do know one thing, that it might not be under the Buzzworthy Bumblebee titling, because in 2024, the Buzzworthy Bumblebee subline will be phased out, at least in name, for something to be used in the future for Target and the Target exclusive, I guess we could call it ecosystem. So we will see what happens with that. But if you do want this Origin Wheeljack, do not buy it off of Scalpers Online from Singapore. You will get an opportunity at some point in the near future through Target and, of course, probably mass retail for non-U.S. residents, be it GameStop or Toys R Us that usually carry the Target exclusives like the Origin stuff. Anyways, this is all very, very exciting. Let me know what you think. Very excited about all of this. And stay tuned for more with the Transformer Slag podcast. But the big thing on top of it all is we do have a brand new date to mark down on your calendar. Hasbro Pulse announced that they're going to be showing that video in HD that was showing at the Singapore Comic-Con, as well as some brand new stuff to be shown in that footage, because there was stuff that wasn't shown at the show. The footage that was shown at the show was quickly cut up and really just focused on the tidal wave, but supposedly there's more stuff in that footage that we did not see. So mark on your calendar, Monday, December 18th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll be showing off something really cool. This was shown through their socials today, so stay tuned for that. December 18th at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard. We'll probably get to see the tidal wave in all its glory, the little clip that I showed at the beginning of this segment that you saw very blurry, and probably much more. Maybe the Wheeljack with all the full information, and maybe even more going into 2024. Let me know what you think. You hyped? I know I'm hyped. This is good stuff. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk again here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening.